Support comes from Dean Heating and Cooling, keeping homes cool all summer with Tempstar. Dean Heating and Cooling provides HVAC service and installation in the Athens area, featuring Tempstar quality you can feel. Support comes from the O'Neill Hartman Insurance Agency, a local Erie insurance agent serving southeastern Ohio, providing professional service to individuals and businesses. Information at o'neillhartman.com. Additional support from Donato's Pizza, featuring pizza, subs, salads, and catering from their Athens location at 688 East State Street. Information at donatospizza.com or 740-592-5049. Support comes from Ohio's 529 College Advantage, helping families save tax-free for college and career training nationwide for 35 years. Information on Ohio's 529 can be found at collegeadvantage.com/Bobcats.
Another episode of Gridiron Glory. I'm your host, Donovan Varney, and I hope you guys brought your tickets to ride, because tonight we're going to take you guys on a trip all around the 740. We've got 5 big stops, so here's a look at the route we're going to be taking. Our first destination is in the FAC between Chillicothe and Washington. Then we'll head on over to see Zane Trace at Unioto, who are fighting for the top spot of the SVC. Then a quick look at Waterford and Southern in the Hocking, and Sheridan and Philo in the Big. For our game of the week, we'll let you guys off at Eastern, where the Eagles take on the Sims Valley Vikings. So without further ado, let's just get into it. The FAC has given us plenty to keep an eye on so far this season, and this week is no different. Grant Kiefer joins us with an update from Chillicothe versus Washington and a few other games from across the conference.
Yeah, I mean, you said it best. The FAC is just unbelievably electric this year. Last year, it was just Jackson and Miami at the top. It was a 2-horse race. This year, the conference is so deep, top to bottom. Chillicothe and Washington Courthouse both are vying for a potential to maybe compete for that top spot in the FAC, and they're both led by first-year head coaches doing it. It's TJ Carper and Chuck Williamson, both familiar faces in the area, complete 180s last year, won 5 games total. This year, it's 7. We're going to go ahead and get out to the second quarter. Chillicothe, goal to go. Tay Harris hands it off to the standout sophomore, Carte Ligon, to go up 6-0. Trust me, refs ruled him in. Now here's Washington with the response right away to go to Pfeiffer. He finds his man. They get the extra point, so it's a 7-6 Blue Lions lead. Here we go, late in the half. Chillicothe driving. Who else but that man, number 18, to find the end zone and take the lead right back. Cavs get the 2 this time to go up 7. The Blue Lions, they run the 2-minute drill well. Pfeiffer finds the standout junior Aiden Osborne, gets his feet in. We are all square. Washington coming out of half. They're going to go ahead and punch it in with Osborne on a Wildcat sneak, and there's the lead right back for the Blue Lions. The Cavaliers, the response, count them for me. Not 1, not 2, but 3 from Ligon. They miss the extra point and still trail. The next drive, though, they won't be trailing for much longer. There's Carter Williams streaking down the field to take the lead right back. Plus, they get the 2 to go up 28-21. So here's Chillicothe again with the chance to put the ball away, but Ligon gets wrapped up in the backfield for the safety, so it's a 5-point game. Now the response on the ensuing drive from Washington, they take the lead right back. They go for 2 and fail, so it's a 1-point game. The Cavs drive down the field, and here's Harris on the keeper right up the gut to take the lead right back, 34-29, and here we go. Washington, last chance to dance, 4th and goal. Piper throws, and it's dropped. Chillicothe holds on for the electric win to get the 1-1 in conference.
All right, wow, you made me catch my breath after last week when we had Chillicothe on. I'm going to need some deep breathing after that. Take me through that final drive for Washington. How were the Cavs able to get that stop?
Yeah, so that drive started with about 5 minutes to go. Washington moved the ball down the field methodically. They got late down in distance in their drive. They moved the ball well, and you're seeing this final drive right here. They had it 1st and goal from the 6, stuffed on the run, incomplete pass, and then another incomplete pass on 4th and goal. Chillicothe goes ahead and takes it.
All right, we alluded to it. The FAC, simply put, is just wild this year. We got a chance to see the other 2 games tonight, so why don't you just take us through those ones?
Yeah, let's go ahead and start with Washington Courthouse's arch rival, Miami Trace. They took the trip out to Hillsborough tonight to get their second game of the conference underway. Here we go. Take a look at this man for me. Julian Baker, number 0. He is more than number 0 in this offense, though. Let's go ahead here. Barnum Phillips found them quickly, lobbing a pass to the corner of the end zone. Panthers take command early at Hillsborough. There's that man again. Baker shredding some tackles before breaking fully free, taking it easily into the end zone for a rushing touchdown. Panthers offense is cruising. Hillsborough looking for response, but Mason Dumper under pressure. Gage Henry picks him off and takes it all the way to the house. Miami Trace rolls past Hillsborough 49-6, remains unbeaten at 7-0. Let's go ahead and go out to Jackson and the Hireman hosting McLean. Here you see Bodie Wolford on the pregame sideline. It's his second game back from injury as well. McLean on offense early. Hudson Lovett scrambling around before he finds Holden Lyons making a catch, turning and finding the end zone. Jackson leading 14-6. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the Jackson offense. Wolford in the pocket, zipping the ball to Charlie Woodard, diving catch in the end zone. Jackson's up 27-6 late in the game. Wolford going to lose his legs, use his legs this time. 20-yard QB keeper. Jackson goes on to win 48-6.
All right, there you have it. The FAC in its entirety tonight. And now that we've got those 2 games down, we've got to see what the rest of this conference looks like, Grant.
Yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at it. Got a little bit of a mix-up there in the middle. Washington and Chillicothe both tied there at 1-1. Chillicothe's going to hold the tiebreaker, though, with the win tonight. Miami Trace and Jackson both sitting undefeated. Going to have more on them in a sec. Hillsborough had a tough start with both Jackson and Miami Trace. McLean's also sitting at the bottom at 0-2. So with the standings looking like this, we have 3 weeks left of FAC play. Let's go ahead and take a look at the games you need to keep an eye out for. Jackson and Washington next week. Also have Hillsborough and Chillicothe. That one could determine who makes the playoffs out in Region 12. Miami Trace and Jackson, the one we've all been waiting for, is Week 9. Then you've got Rivalry Week 10.
Yeah, lots
all right, of... Barn burner, electric, however you want to call it, Donovan. This was just an incredible night of football in Washington Courthouse.
Yeah, it definitely seemed like it, and we will keep an eye out on those games. Thanks, Grant. Get back safe. All right, well, according to our numbers, 49% of you at home voted for Chillicothe and 51% of you had Washington. Of course, those of you that chose Chillicothe would be correct. Make sure you vote on our Instagram story every week for who you think will win each of the games we will be at. Those polls will go up every Friday, so don't miss out. For this next game, the majority of you voted for Unioto, so let's see if you were right. Unioto and Zane Trace duked it out for the top of the SVC last year and the year before that and the year before that. This year seems to be no different. Zachary Knight joins me with more on how these teams and their offenses have been cooking.
Yeah, both of these teams are undefeated in the conference behind some big-time offenses. Unioto hasn't scored less than 40 points, and the Pioneers are averaging about 37 this year. But the way they get there is different. Unioto's offense is well-rounded, averaging over 140 passing yards and over 200 rushing yards each game. But the Pioneers keep things on the ground and blow through D lines. They've gone for over 230 rushing yards a game to only 58 passing. Despite the differences, they both feature elite running backs. Bryce Johnson has notched over 800 yards, while Unioto's Cody Braden is averaging over 11 yards every time he runs the ball. Both these guys anchor the offense, and each one contributed tonight. Now, Unioto showed up sporting some shiny new helmets for this SVC showdown. Zane Trace gets the ball first, and after a fumble recovery, Unioto is able to turn things around, but that Pioneer defense held him off and got the ball back. Let's jump ahead to the second quarter as Unioto has the ball after another long drive. They're looking to get going. Isaac Coy connects with Jackson Zikafus here for a big play. That one gets him on the board. Had to stick around for the third quarter of this one, and it didn't disappoint. How about a Pioneer fumble recovery to start things off? But again, they couldn't capitalize on that one. Sherman offense is back on the field now, and stop me if you've heard this one before. Isaac Coy to Jackson Zikafus again. That one puts the Shermans up 13-0, and Unioto's defense is able to clamp down on the Pioneers once again. Shermans have the ball heading into the final quarter. They take it down. Cody Braden picks up a big first down on the way, and here he is again. Cody Braden keeps it on the ground for this last play, finishing the job, and this one seals the deal for Unioto. They remain undefeated after a 19-0 win over the Pioneers tonight.
Wow, okay, so not the high-scoring game we were expecting from these two.
Yeah, definitely. We hit on it earlier, the offenses, but defense is really a strong suit for both of these teams as well. Unioto, it gets their fourth shutout of the year with this one. This is their third in a row. Zane Trace, on the other hand, held them to the lowest score that they've put up all season, so really nothing to be ashamed of there. Zane Trace still has opportunities to bounce back. They'll have Southeastern, Paint Valley, and Adena in the next 3 weeks to wrap up their regular season.
So the Shermans got the job done tonight. Big win in this conference, to say the least. How'd they get to that final score?
Yeah, both of these teams really had to adapt to each other in this game. The quarters were fast. The first quarter was done within 20 minutes, and it was halftime before 8 p.m. The running game for both of these teams is something that we hit on earlier with both of those running backs, and Unioto was able to adapt and add passes to their arsenal. That really made the difference. 2/3 of their touchdowns were passes to Jackson Zikafus. They're really just a well-rounded team with a lot of guys, and that made the difference. Now, they have Paint Valley, Southeastern, and Westfall still on the schedule, but those are the only 3 teams standing between them and their 3rd conference title in a row. After that, they'll look to the playoffs, and they've only won a first-round game in 2020 in their school's history. Wow. The Shermans sit in the driver's seat of the SVC now, and they're well on their way to that 3rd conference crown we talked about.
Yeah, they're definitely getting close. Just a few more games till things are decided. Thanks for the good work, Zachary. Next, we're just going to ride down the street to the TVC Hawking. This week, Waterford and Southern are the 2 we'll catch facing off. But before we get into that game, Josh Herner is going to fill us in on the family ties within the Wildcat football program.
Yeah, Donovan, before head coach Eric McCutcheon took over in 2016, the Wildcats had only made the playoffs once in the 21st century. Since then, though, it's been a normal occurrence, making the playoffs for all of McCutcheon's tenure. One of the reasons for success, a program that's run by family. I got to catch up with the McCutcheons this week to hear about some of their football journeys.
After coaching at the junior high level, Eric McCutcheon took the Waterford varsity head coaching position in 2016. When he took his new role, he brought his 2 brothers, Darren and Dan, with him on staff as assistants.
It's just a joy to get to coach with your family. So it's a lot of guys don't get to do that, but we like to try to get the whole family involved over here at Waterford.
We get along really well together. Obviously, game nights get kind of hectic at times, and there might be a bark here or there at each other. But after the end of the day, we enjoy being around each other.
Eric's sons Grant and Tyler have also joined the coaching staff as defensive assistants. After playing under Eric and coaching with him, the pair have learned valuable lessons they use in their own coaching philosophies.
To not get mad about everything. I mean, he's definitely taught me that some things you just have to let it go. You just let it go, let the kids do what they do best, and just let the kids play.
There's going to be ups and downs in this game, and I might be known to kind of be quick to anger or quick to temper in some moments, and he kind of gives me the we're good, and kind of gives me that reminder that things can go up from here.
Beyond the coaching staff, there's still one more McCutcheon on the active roster. Dylan is a starting offensive and defensive lineman and is the last son playing on the team.
I just love playing football. I feel like my uncles even help coach. I just love being around my family, like playing the sport I love, and it's just pretty fun.
It's been a heck of a ride coaching my sons. I enjoyed them. I hope they learned a lot of life lessons through football.
And with all the lessons the McCutcheons have learned and taught at Waterford, they've completely changed the culture for the Wildcats.
Waterford's known for winning football games now. Like, if we lose a game, it's heartbreaking to everybody, the fans, everybody. It wasn't always like that at Waterford, and you're supposed to win at Waterford now.
It's a huge win! Huge!
Now it's time to see how the Wildcats fared tonight. Waterford traveled to Southern looking to get their 2nd win in conference. And there is head coach Eric McCutcheon getting his team ready to take on the Tornadoes. Wildcats on their first drive. QB Avery Popmeyer runs in an easy score from a few yards out, 6-0 Wildcats. Next possession, and Cameron Johnson adds on to that lead. 13-yard score gives Waterford a 13-point cushion. Popmeyer now is going to take to the air. He connects with Weston Fairchild for a score in the passing game. Wildcats now up 20. Now we've seen this offense plenty, so let's see some defense. Hayden Jones reads the Nathan Schuster pass perfectly, and after a nice return, he's going to set up his offense deep into Tornado territory, and they'll capitalize. Popmeyer runs in another touchdown inside the 5, puts his team up 27. Wildcats offense facing a 4th down. Gavin Heener with a beautiful reception. Wildcats up 40 at half and win 47-0. With the Wildcats win tonight, they stay tied for first with Trimble after the Tomcats took down Belpre. Eastern Falls to Wahama, they stay tied for 3rd with the Golden Eagles, but they have an important contest with Trimble next week. Southern and Federal Hawking round out the standings. And with this Waterford win, they extend their conference winning streak to 7. It seems they have their eyes on a conference title.
Yeah, and Waterford and the entire McCutcheon family must be happy with that one. Thanks, Josh. Now it's time for a little rapid-fire football action. We had crews stop at 4 additional games, so we've got the highlights from those coming at you right now on the Extra Point. So how about a trip to the MSL Cardinal to start? Here's Burn Union with the ball. James Hawking catches a screen pass, and he's got his eyes set downfield. He is flying, but so is number 0, who drags him down. The Rockets punching in on the next play. Grove City Christian on the next drive. Douglas Housley with a beauty to John Gibson for 6. Later, Carson Kiger scans the field. There he is. He sees all way as he throws it right into the hands of Tyler Benedum. One of the 4 first half turnovers for the Rockets. Grove City Christian steals one on the road, 46-7. Next, we've got an SOC1 versus TVC Ohio matchup in our lineup. An SOC would strike first. Jake Brown drops back to pass, surveys the field, sees nothing, tuck it and run. Left side is open and they're up 7. Northwest back on offense. Ferguson muscles in for another score. This one had Northwest all over it, and despite Vinton County all over him, Carson Christian gets through 2 defenders and the ref for another score. They keep the pressure on and add another Carson Christian score with a dart right at the camera. Northwest wins this one at VC, 43-22. South Point heads down to Chesapeake tonight, where the Panthers are running out looking for their first dub. They're going to have to stop Landon Vance, though. Here he goes. He could run through a brick wall. That's going to be the first score of the game. On the ensuing kickoff, Chesapeake strikes back. Jaden Washington fields the kick, breaks the line in defense, and the rest is history. Don't look back, young man. That'll be good for 6, and the Panthers are down 1 after a missed extra point. Later, they come back with a little trickery. Panthers fake the punt and hit Jaden Washington up the middle, but it's not going to be enough as Chesapeake falls 41-18. Next is New Lexington and Maysville. Hoko night for the Panthers, and watch them dance. Here's Eli Dixon getting low, staying on his feet all the way down the sideline. He's going to take this inside the 5, but don't worry, the Panthers do not fall short on this drive. Next play, Paul Stenson is going to take the handoff right here, makes a guy miss, and runs through the other. 8-0 Panthers. Next New Lex drive, it's Stenson again, getting low and just making it across the goal line for the score. New Lexington has a big halftime lead and runs away with this one, 54-16. There's just never enough time for us to catch every game, so that will be a wrap on the Extra Point. But for more content from all of these games, make sure you check out our social media pages. We'll be posting video recaps, highlights, photos, and more from every one of tonight's matchups. Find those on our Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and X accounts. Plus, don't forget to check out woub.org/gridiron for articles from all of the games of this week. Also, be sure to stay tuned for the pregame huddle on Thursdays and Fridays for previews of all of our Showtime games. All right, on to the NVL we go. Tonight, Sheridan and Philo are fighting for more than just a top spot in the Big. The Electrics are hunting for their first outright title since '88, while Sheridan is trying to keep their playoff hopes alive. Stephen Crowley is here with what's all at stake tonight.
Yeah, Donovan, with a 5-1 record, Philo could be the team to beat Sheridan for the first time since 2017. In order to do that, though, they'll have to break down a red-hot Generals offense as of late. Only 41 points in their first 3, but this team has flipped every narrative, scoring 171 in their last 3. That's an average of 44 more points a game. And just look at how clean and clinical the Generals have been. They brought down penalty yards significantly and are hitting big on O, averaging 9.93 yards per play in their last 3. Let's hear from head coach Paul Culver III about the turnaround.
So I wouldn't say that offense is new, but we've changed a bit of our focus, and part of that is an interior run game that's what teams would say has a lot of checks to it, right? Like the offensive line and the quarterbacks and the running backs have to be on the same page with the calls, what they see up front, and so we're getting better at it.
Now, looking for max effort football? If so, you're in exactly the right place. And where there's max effort, there is certainly Logan Russell, as he gets this game started evading tacklers and earning every yard he can up the sideline. Big gain for 20. We'll be coming back to him in just a bit. A couple plays later, Tice Whiteman looking across the middle, but it's picked off by Aiden Mahone. Philo charging up now, but Sheridan would force a 3-and-out immediately after the turnover, but now it's about time for the Logan Russell show. We talked about the interior run game already, but when you have a back that is this shifty, smart, and strong, you're bound to have success. Russell would set up Logan Huff to take the snap here, season opening, and got nothing on the mind but the pylon. He knows he's in. He's just waiting for that confirmation from the referee. Here it is, and now he'll let everyone at home know too. 7-0 Red Rage. But I would be doing a disservice to talk about great running and not show Slade Sprankle some love here. As he gets a nice gain, he's got something to say too. He's certainly back on your screen now, hitting the hole again for another nice game. Electric stopped on 4th and 4 on that drive, but ring, ring, it's the house phone. Up that call every single time. Hupp, high stepping into the end zone, a perfect ball from Whiteman to make it 14-0. Philo with one last chance in the half with great field position, but this D-line for the Generals was monstrous tonight, like they have been almost every Friday this year. Red Rage win a big one, 28-7. Now, let's take a quick look at how things look playoff and conference race-wise for the Generals. Big win tonight, and their playoff chances improved to 89% according to Drew Pastor. Also, Sheridan controls their own destiny in the Big. 2 straight dubs, and the Big is outrightly theirs.
Now, that was a lot, so let's reel it in. All right, we have to talk about Logan Russell's performance tonight. 200 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns from him. Tell me, what made him so special tonight?
Yeah, actually, I want to go back to week 1 for that answer, Donovan. We're going to take you back to Licking Valley week 1. Just nowhere to run for this Sheridan offense. Gaps being filled in by the defense of Licking Valley here and by other opponents throughout the season, but just a ton of pileups, and now you can see the difference. Blockers getting off the line early, they're physical, they're fast. This line has always been good as well. They just needed time. Individual brilliance from Russell in this game really made the difference, though.
Yeah, and Steven, on the other side of things, only 186 points given up for Sheridan's defense. What stood out about that side of the ball?
I mean, the way that this team hunts the ball is special, Donovan. I mean, all 11 on the field are connected, and they're compact when the other team rushes the ball. Their D-line, they destruct blocks, and they get to the QB when they need to. Logan Hupp, other great athletes, Creed Hill, Wesley Shagog, don't want to forget them, played amazing on that D-line today. And this defense, it's now scary. That's Sheridan's 8th straight win over the Electrics, and Philo will now need some help in order to win the Big outright. But a big shout out to Philo tonight. They have a great crowd at Sam Hatfield Stadium.
Yeah, a big win on the road for Sheridan. That atmosphere had to be insane. And that leads me to another question I've got for everybody else at home. Do you guys think you know the best fan base in Southeast Ohio? Well, now you've got a chance to let us know. Each week, we'll post duels between fan bases across our coverage area, and you guys at home will vote on who you think is the best. The voting will last all the way until our finale, where we will unveil which fan base rules the 7-4-0. And speaking of fans, I went down to Eastern High School tonight for our game of the week, and it's safe to say they made a lasting impression.
I used to be able to do that. Now I'm all sore.
You could never do that.
Where'd he come from?
It's going to be like 67 to 41.
Wait, why 67?
Just 6-7.
Bro. Eastern Eagles. I have something to tell you. I don't know who did it, but I will find out. I've been to a lot of football games. This is my first one where we've got a stand with the fish sandwiches.
Oh, yeah.
Take me through. Yeah, just tell me about it.
We buy our frozen fish from Richie's, and then we get our ingredients, and we fry it up right here fresh.
That's awesome. We got fresh fish here at Eastern High School.
Come out to Eastern here in Beaver, and we'll hook you up with some fish.
I'll be back. Hold on. Bro, I need to stretch. I'm old. Dang. All right. Oh, I'm done. I pulled my hammy. Ah. Yeah, there's not a train horn at every high school football game, but there is one at Eastern.
Hi, Mom.
Shout out, Mom. Love my mom, man.
I had a blast with the fans, and hey, shout out moms. But Eastern and Sims Valley will be our last stop of the night. The SOC one is full of high-scoring offenses, and these two teams are no exception. Ty Carpenter joins me now. Tell me about this game and what to expect from these air raid offenses. Ty.
Yeah, Donovan, there were no breaks across the SOC this year. And tonight, behind their star quarterbacks, we got 2 undefeated teams with their highest scoring offenses of all time. And to be honest with you, it almost feels like they're playing a video game out there, because I guess you don't get to 6-0 without some pretty good football. Eastern 28 straight regular season wins. Check it out, and it's no secret why this year. 40 points per game, 340 yards per game. That's got them 35 touchdowns in just 6 weeks. But Sims Valley, younger squads, see them one-upping Eastern. More points per game and nearly 400 yards per game. Don't forget those 2 extra touchdowns on top. So if you love scoring, these two got you covered. And trust me, the fireworks came to start this game. But it was not on offense. Sims Valley with the ball. Bronx Carpenter instantly pressured. He's brought down by Jack Montgomery. You can't escape him. One on his chest because he's also the first one to score. Handoff here, and he's barreling through, doing it all for the 8-yard score. 7-0 Eastern. And I'm getting a little deja vu on the goal line. Big boy number 67, Brewer Tomlinson. Coach's son, by the way. See that signal? That's 14-0. And let's keep pouring it on, and let me tell you about Eric Manley Jr. Here he is on the run, and he's going deep and on the money to Carson Peters, brought down in the red zone. That sets them up for this next play. Manley, he's keeping it this time. He has it everywhere on the field, I promise, and this time it is no exception. They're up 21-0, and he can pass. He can run. How about a little mix of both scrambling and off the back foot to the back of the end zone? Trey Kelly is there, and he points for the tutty, and it is true, up 28. Now Sims got a little drive, but 4th and 2. Bronx is trying it, and Bauer is ending it. Give the Eagles the ball back, and at this point, he might honestly just be showing off. Manley from 30 yards out into the end zone. 2 guys there, so surely one comes down with it, and he does. Benjamin Bauer to go up 34, and the Vikings trying to make something happen before the half. Bronx to Beckham Roth, forced incomplete, and check it out, a big man INT for Bryden Tomlinson. Eastern wins 40-6, and here's what Coach Tomlinson had to say.
Yeah, big confidence boost for our team. Like I said, you see them on film and you feel like you're better than them, but you don't know until you line it up. You don't know. Now they know. So now we I hope we send a message around.
So Donovan, that's about as dominant as it can get for the Eagles tonight. They just made a big statement at the top of the SOC1.
For sure, showing why they've been sitting at the top for so long now. And it looks like their guy, Eric Manley Jr., was making it happen tonight.
Yeah, no kidding. And I want you to remember that most of these stats on your screen came in the first half alone. Nearly 300 passing yards, 3 touchdowns in the air, 1 on the ground, and 0 turnovers. He took over tonight, and that's how you show off in a big-time conference game. And to be honest with you, Donovan, it was all about capitalizing on where his team got him.
For sure, that Eastern defense was locked in tonight. Seems like Bronx Carpenter was under pressure almost every single play.
Yeah, they had that goal line stand to shut down Sims Valley's momentum, but that pinned them on the 2-yard line. And you know what Manley did? He drove all the way down the field, and he scored again.
What a night for him, but who else deserves a shout-out after that one?
Yeah, Brewer Tomlinson and Jack Montgomery both scored those early rushing touchdowns, but they dominated on defense as well. And when you got guys who get it done everywhere on the field, you get some winning football.
Yeah, it was certainly a complete game all around for the Eagles.
Yeah, no kidding. It was domination from the beginning for Eastern, and this one puts them squarely at the top of the conference standings. So let's take a look at where it's standing. Eastern sets things straight against the Vikings, but even still, Sims and South Gallia are still in the race for the conference at 1-1 each. But I know you see it. Notre Dame is looming at the top too. You got to get through them to win the SOC1. So let's take some lessons from Notre Dame. Last week, we know about Luke Cassidy. You got to shut him down. He accounted for 5 first-half touchdowns last week. 2 of those came on special teams. It got to the point where South Gallia was kicking it out of bounds on kickoffs. So lock that down. And it might sound weird when you got a QB like Eric Manley, but establish the run. The Rebels' lane right last week was gashing the Titan run defense. So expect Jack Montgomery to get some work again this week. And one more thing to note, Donovan, Notre Dame won 70-0 against Green tonight, so Eastern might have their hands full next week.
Yeah, that's a game nobody's going to want to miss. Thanks, Ty. Well, we took you guys all around the 7-4-0 tonight, and we saw a lot of good plays. So, per usual, we've picked out what we consider to be the best of the best. Let's check out our top plays from Week 7. Number 5 comes from the Unioto and Zane Trace game. If you're a fan of good ball and some good camera work, this one is for you. The Sherman's Isaac Coy drops back and unloads one downfield right in the line of sight of our camera. Jackson Zigafus makes the grab, and that one was real pretty. Number 4 comes from our game of the week, Eric Manley Jr. doing Eric Manley Jr. things. He leaves the pocket and sort of hops off his back foot for this ball. Trey Kelly grabs it over 3 defenders and gets both feet in. Easy pick for our top plays. Number 3 is a long one. I'm talking 99 yards long. In his own end zone, Douglas Housley finds Josiah Harmeyer. He beats his man off the line, and there was not another rocket in sight. He takes this one all the way downfield for the game's first score. Hope he gets a breather after that one, because I sure need one. Into our top 2, this one takes us to Philo versus Sheridan. Wide receiver Logan Hupp takes it from the Wildcat, hits the edge, not a lot of room, and dives in. Is it good? Yeah, he thinks so, and so do I. My goodness, what a play. And now our number 1 play. This week it goes to the Chesapeake Special Teams and their guy, Jaden Washington. South Point just scored, and Washington didn't like it. He fields the kick, takes his time reading the defense before he hits the gas. Once he breaks that line, he's fine. It's not every day we see a kickoff return in high school football. Good blocking, good execution. Coach has to be happy with that one. Make it our top play of the night. And with that, we're back at the station. Tonight we went on a ride that took us all across Southeast Ohio. From that first whistle to the final horn, each game delivered. But don't unpack those bags just yet. We'll fire up those engines again next week. Same time, same place, right here, because there's nothing better than Friday nights in Gridiron Glory.
Support comes from Dean Heating and Cooling, keeping homes cool all summer with Tempstar. Dean Heating and Cooling provides HVAC service and installation in the Athens area, featuring Tempstar quality you can feel. Support comes from the O'Neill Hartman Insurance Agency, a local Erie insurance agent serving southeastern Ohio, providing professional service to individuals and businesses. Information at o'neillhartman.com. Support comes from Ohio's 529 College Advantage, helping families save tax-free for college and career training nationwide for 35 years. Information on Ohio's 529 can be found at collegeadvantage.com/Bobcats. Additional support from Donato's Pizza, featuring pizza, subs, salads, and catering from their Athens location at 688 East State Street. Information at donatospizza.com or 740-592-5049.
You are watching WOUB TV in Athens and WOUC TV in Cambridge.
Why is it important to talk about disability and medicine?